On to the next one. So, why? It's like a very childish question to some, but I think maybe we'll just go around the room real quick and maybe think about like why. Oh, you thought I was gonna say like why you started the business? Why are you actually like working? Period. Like, what is your motivation to actually just work in general? We start with you, Leah, with the introductions. Let's start with you, Lisa. Like, why do you work?
Why I work as a startup?
Just in general, like why you work, period.
Yeah, so it is about the motivation on, I'm not good at just staying in one job or not moving. I kind of want prove myself, have a bigger platform, right? Even if you work in a company and there are lots of things you don't even know. I mean, just I'm not a manager or top manager, so I can make that strategy.
Yeah.
But I as a startup, I can kind of like, it is a way to prove myself, and it is a way to realize my dreams. So that's it.
Awesome.
For me, it gives a sense of purpose.
Purpose.
Yeah, and
what is that purpose? A little heavy question.
Creating something or building something,
okay.
and like becoming something.
To what end? To what end? Do you want to like work for 20 years, look back and see all the stuff you built? Is it just the process of building?
It's just the process of building. Like,
that's right.
Growing each day.
Okay. 1% better. Yeah, I like it.
Mine is, it's shifted over the years.
Okay.
So
No.
I started off just like working.
That's good. Means you haven't stagnated.
Yeah. That's why I kind of went to like the biotech space and was like, oh, this is like very meaningful work and yada yada. And then it kind of shifted into like, okay, now I want to work primarily just to be financially independent so I can do things that I enjoy.
Sure.
And then also, for me personally, it kind of builds a little bit of discipline, which because I've been involved in so many sports throughout my life, it's like that is kind of the key cornerstone to getting anything done is the discipline. So I feel like putting myself in an environment where I have to work on a daily basis for 8 hours a day or whatnot, it helps me with that. So, yeah.
I guess for me, it's just creating a project that a lot of people are using. That's pretty solid.
Okay.
And I guess why I say project is also because I like a lot of stuff that is not related to computer science. Like any career, I want to make a movie in the future. I just want to have the time and the financial security that I can do those projects that I actually like. That's what I'm working right now.
Okay.
So,
What do you
I have two answers. One, impacting the world at scale, and one is input equals output for me. There's a lofty goal that I have and more work that I put in, of course I can get to that.
Which one?
For me, it's like if I don't like something the way it is, it's just like I'll try to change it. So it's more of like creating something that can change the way we do it every day. So yeah.
Well, for me, it also shifted multiple times. When I started my career in international relations, I worked with the Embassy of Thailand, built relationships. I loved it. It still motivates me. Like building relationships and good relationships with people is probably what really drives me. Because how do I measure that? Is like if at the end of the day I feel happy, I feel like people I spoke with are happy, impacted. That's kind of like I did my job. On the other hand, it shifted to just having this financial stability at some point, and then have some recognition for the work I did. But I feel like it's all coming back to the beginning. Like, I work to be happy and to make others happy.
I love it. So, what about me? Why do I do what I do? I mean, I think I heard the similar answers. Like, I think that legacy is a big reason why I do what I do. I mean, I love the act of building and like creating new stuff. But I think for me, it's like I want to leave lasting things behind. right? To be able to like look back and just be like, I helped build this, right? And you know, like that's why some super rich dudes like build buildings because they can literally just stand outside their building and be like, I literally built that, right? You know, but like some of it's metaphorical. Like you at 40, 50 years old, you know, you like you either have kids and there's another manifestation of something that you help raise, but like also like I walk out into the office and I just see a bunch of people working and just realizing like I enabled them to be able to work and like all that type of stuff. And it's, I'm not there yet, right? To be able to do like as big of scale of stuff as like that. But like, that would definitely bring like a lot of purpose, right? In what I do and what I want to do in the future. So one of the things that we want to calibrate is sometimes there's a personal why and then there's a personal business why, right? And the why is very often connected to like that spark of inspiration, right? And I think you have a very good story around like this inspiration behind your business. Some of you also have like different moments of serendipity that inspired your business. And so sometimes it's, and I won't go that around the room again, but just thinking about your startup why. Does it match one-to-one with your personal why? I see some head nods. Not exactly. Yeah, close. Close is good too. So, but like if they're completely different, let's say like, not just this particular startup, but like just like Vlad was like, and Yulia, your whys shift over time. What if your whys diverge or are at a divergence point, right? Like they're not aligned. Maybe they're incompatible in some particular way. One is financial security. One is like, I want to live in a van, like go off and whatever, right? And like that's the only way to execute this business, right? Like it's a food truck, and I got to live out of the food truck in order for it to like survive, right? But that's totally different than like being wealthy and like living in a mansion with a yacht, right? Like those things are incompatible, but maybe one leads to the other. So are you able to live with, why you do the things that you do for your professional and personal life and your business? Are you able to be okay with a divergence of why?
I think you will lose interest and passion if the whys don't align with your personal goal.
You get frustrated, bro.
Yeah, and business is not for like something you do 1 year or 2 years. It's something you should be passionate about. Because if your whys don't align, you will lose interest in a year or so.
And the same happens at work too. I mean, it stresses people out.
Yes,
If
it's like
you're like following somebody, it's like, okay, so when you're working for somebody, that's what came to mind. You're building somebody else's dream. So they have a dream, and you're building the dream. And then if you start building your own dream, and at some point you're like, oh, this is my dream. This is not my dream. You're back to like working for somebody else. That's what you just felt.
Right.
So yeah, and we just talked about like personal whys, like shifting, but maybe sometimes in the business, right? Sometimes things change in the business, and then the why the business exists also changes, right? And so, how do you think we should deal with that, right? Like, if your business changed in a particular way, and the why you do what you do, maybe potentially conflicts with why does your business exist? And not to like have necessarily an answer, but just like for you to figure it out for yourself. Maybe not even in this room. Like go off and do whatever ritual you need to do in order to like find yourself. Like think about it. Like what is more important to you, the survival and success of the business, or that things align? And do you actively build and ensure that alignment, or is your personality type fine with that because you're able to compartmentalize? I'm not saying that there's a right answer, but the right answer is figuring out what your right answer is. Does it have to align, in which that tells you need to build your business in a particular way? Or if it doesn't, that means you have a little bit more freedom, maybe, right? But understand that maybe those conflicts can pop up in the future, right? Because businesses do change at various different points, and thus, when you look at yourself in the mirror, are you still happy being the CEO or the founder or the whatever at the same business? This really affects, oftentimes I see marketers, just because they have to push out like promotion on behalf of a business. When the business starts shifting, they're like, God, I don't actually like saying the things they do. I used to be like, this place is the best, blah, blah, blah. And then over time, the business starts shifting, and you're like, So either you're square with that, you're like cool with it, like the business goes where the business goes, and like I'll pitch my nose and do it, or you actually like shift your own personal goals to go, or your personal whys to go along with it. Just potential differences. There's no right answer, right? In a lot of things that you find, like there's a spectrum of things, right? And I think a lot of, especially in America today, you got to be one thing or the other. Well, no, most people are like along the spectrum, along the lines somewhere, right? And for the majority of people, they're somewhere in the middle, and there's obviously the extremes on either end, right? You got to figure out where you are in that and be like, am I cool with that? Is that aligned with where I want to be? Is there any adjustment that I need to make with myself, my business? What's easier, produces the best results? These are all the business decisions that you make in life, and a lot of them stem from the question, why? Cool? Awesome. Any points that anybody wants to bring up? I saw that landing, didn't I? I really nailed that, didn't I? Yeah. Full circle. Oh. Totally planned. Cool. Any points? Feel free. Going once, going twice. We're sold on why. Cool.